I hope you have had a wonderful time this morning listening to three of our honorable speakers. So let me do a quick recap of today's session. The first session we had today was Why Dharma Therapy? The Motivation and Objectives by Mr. Frank Ong. The second session was What is Dharma Therapy by Āyasmā Aggacitta? And followed by the Introduction to Natural Qi Therapy Yang Seng Gong by Master Chow. Before we begin the forum, let me just quickly brief you on how we will conduct the Q&A sessions. Those who have submitted the written question during the lunch hour, I will read them out first. And if time permits, I will open up the floor for any participants to ask your question. So let's dive into the question now. We have the first question. How do you integrate natural healing as part of your daily practice in a consistent way? Are there any tips for beginners? I believe there are many beginners here as well, wanting to know what's the best tips. Perhaps maybe Brother Frank would like to address this question.
I would have thought Bhante would probably be the more appropriate. I can't give any advice, but what I can only do is to share my experience. As far as natural healing is concerned, my focus has always been the prevention rather than the cure. Like what I mentioned earlier, we all have experienced natural death healing. I gave you the cases of when we have like minor illnesses like flu and things all like that. The body go into a fasting mode, and then you sleep a lot, and then you don't think so much. 3 days later, you're okay. I think when it comes to minor illnesses, sometimes we just have to accept it and let the body heal it by itself. What I observe is my dogs, they don't see, every time when they are sick, they just eat some grass, and 3 days later, they are not there. But of course, for major illnesses, please seek medical advice. But I think for minor one, sometimes just let the body rest. We have gone through that many instances, but probably, you can try it out and observe it more carefully and see how the body heals itself.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Frank. He's speaking from his experience. He's sharing his experience. We have another question, specifically for Bhante Aggacitta. If doing chanting, are there any rules as in how many times must it be done? If how many, then why? Do we need to chant, for example, 7 times each time? Or can the number be accumulated in one day? If let's say 7 times, 3 times in the morning, in addition to the 4 times at night, to get the total 7. I think a lot of people also want to know this answer also.
Recitation of the suttas or parittas, you could say a post-canonical development. During the Buddha's time, the 3 suttas that were connected to the Bhujangas were not recited, they were spoken. But I guess you could say it's recited in the sense that they memorized the teachings of the Buddha. But it wasn't, the word that was used in the Pali was not recitation. They spoke on the factors of enlightenment. This figure of 7 seems to be a spiritual figure, according to New Age belief or perspective, but not in Theravada Buddhism. So I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess because we just want to put a limit to how much we chant, right? Yeah, we cannot just chanting the whole day. So I guess 7 is a good number to stop at. But it's not necessarily 7, you could do more than that. I understand that some people do a whole night chanting during the New Year Eve. It really depends on the individual, how much time you have.
Yeah, actually, Bhante, I also heard before of like multiple of 7s, like sometimes some people 49.
all this came much later. Even the rosaries or the beads that we use, is always in multiples of 9, isn't it?
Yeah, 108 if I'm not mistaken.
9 times 12 is 108.
Yeah.
It's a multiple of 9.
9.
Because of the 9 virtues of the Buddha.
So there's actually significance to that as well. We have a question from Master Chow. Is there energy from the universe that it's negative or not? If there is, then are you tapping into the wrong energy?
As I mentioned, electricity, you are always negative and positive. If there is no negative, you don't have the positive, right? So how you get the good or bad? It's very difficult for you to justify. Very difficult because the real negative or the genuine positive is just a minor percentage. And the world of this universe is all with a well-balanced energy, most of the time. So you say you're tapping the bad energy. I don't think everybody want to get the bad energy, no. As long as you practice properly, you will get the harmonized or well-balanced energy. That is the way of how you practice. Practice the right way. Do not focus, I want. Then in the end, you got nothing. Because you want only what you want. And in the end, you may not get what you want. Same like you go to gambling, you go to buy the forage. I want. In the end, nothing will get also. The universe energy is always there. Well balanced. It's always well balanced. It's up to you to tap to receive. As long as you practice properly, you don't worry about the bad energy, no good energy. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Master Chow, for that. The right way, right technique, right intention, as well as a right teacher as well. The next question, specifically for Brother Frank. Usually, meditation is not recommended for people with depression because sometimes it may further aggravate the issue. They would like to understand what kind of meditation did you do that helped you to overcome?
Yeah, actually that is true. First of all, when a person is in depression, they can't meditate. There's no point even asking them to meditate. There's a saying I'm sure most of you all have heard. An ideal mind is a devil's workshop, or they call it an ideal mind is a wandering mind. Once the person is in depression, you can't get them to meditate. To me, there's always these 3 steps. It's like a wild horse. You got to first calm the horse, tame the horse, then control the horse. Then the horse becomes something that is useful. Our mind is like that. You calm it, you tame it, then you learn how to control it. So once a person is in depression, the first method that you have to do is you can't go to the controlling part. You have to learn to calm the mind. Ideally, instead of having an ideal mind, the person should have a distraction. If they are interested in gardening or something, they could spend hours on that. Because when they are doing something, then with the distraction, then their mind is not ideal. Then you don't have all these negativity thoughts. But depression comes into 3 segments. You have the minor, moderate, and severe. Certain treatment will depend on the severity of the person. But we can't go straight to the meditation part because that's the last part. You got to calm your mind, tame your mind. Then later you control your mind through meditation. Of course, samatha is more of taming the mind, but you can't do the vipassana yet. That comes there later. You have to take step by step first.
All right, thank you, Brother Frank. We have another question. This one is for Bante. This person is a caregiver. As a caregiver, they are just wondering how can they care for their own mental health because they are faced with someone who is not well. They have to be strong as well. How do they care for own mental health to avoid they themselves getting depressed? any suttas or meditation techniques that they can practice daily?
First of all, we need to remember there are 4 Brahma Viharas: loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity. First, you try to do loving kindness and express that physically by taking good care of the person and also with compassion. At the same time, we should also understand the law of karma. Things happen because of causes and conditions. We try our best, and also we must accept that things will go their own way according to the causes and conditions. Providing care, loving kindness, and compassion is also one cause, one condition. But there could be other intervening causes and conditions which are more powerful. As karma, for example. Age, for example. There are many factors involved, and whatever care that you give is only one of them. There may be others which are beyond your control. As long as you understand that things happen because of causes and conditions, and you're trying your very best, then when things don't improve, then you have to go on to the next, which is equanimity. Accept it. That's the way it is. You try your best, and you have to accept karma for what it is. And you have also got to be compassionate towards yourself. Yeah, you're not a superwoman, you're not a superman. You also have to take a rest. Sometimes you really need to take a break in order for you to survive. So maybe you could get somebody to take over for a while, you take a good break, recharge yourself, and then come back. Most importantly, it is to have faith in the law of karma. Experiential understanding of the law of cause and effect. Then it's easy for you to accept. At the same time, not being fatalistic, but trying your best. There are many things that you could do besides just contemplating on that particular situation of the person who is being taken care of. But also you should watch your own mind to understand how cause and effect works. Then you can very easily link that to what's happening, and your mind can be in a state of equilibrium or equanimity, even though you try your best. So besides watching your own mind, you could also do other things like chanting, right? Chanting Sukhino, chanting Arahang, chanting something that takes your mind away from that person for a while, because it is very taxing. Yeah, that's all.
That's all, yeah. All right, thank you. Thank you, Bante, for sharing the tips on how to care for your mental health while being a responsible caregiver. Thank you, Bante. Because we've been talking about eating well and also intermittent fasting as well, this question is about, is eating according to our blood type a right way of eating for good health? Are there anyone who would like to take this question?
I think different people have got different perspectives about this. Eating right according to your blood type is only one perspective of health. The other people who have other perspectives. And qigong masters, they eat nails, they eat glass, broken glass, right? So maybe Mr. Chow can say something about that.
We'll ask him next. Master Chow, would you like to comment on that?
Just for my own experience, eating is very important, of course. It is necessary to suit individual conditions. If you are sick, let's say, you're having the high blood pressure, do not take all this diet that will trigger up your BP higher and higher. That will cause you further damage or injury, and in the end you may go to the hospital. Eating is very important anyway for the normal life. But for my conditions, sorry, I want to share with you a bit. I'm not vegetarian. And I don't take veggie. I don't take veggie for the past 70 years, 75 years, 74 years. And I don't take fish. I don't take a lot of things. Okay, sorry to tell you, I'm taking most of the food when I take, I must have 2 things. Soya sauce. My soya sauce, 1 bottle of soya sauce. Anybody using the soya sauce for your diet? No? No soya sauce? Soya sauce? 1 bottle of soya sauce, how long it can last? Long 2 years. My friend told me they use 2-3 years in 1 bottle. Sorry, I use 1 bottle 1 month. Less than the month sometimes. My important diet is soya sauce. I can eat the rice without anything but soya sauce. And the second thing I want, sorry, may not be applicable to all of you, 鸡油炸. My favorite 鸡油炸. I want big bowl of 鸡油炸. Every time I want the 鸡油炸. Sorry, not ask you to follow, please.
This qigong master can do anything. Oh, now I know. Qigong master can take nails, can eat a broken glass. Now drink soy sauce also.
And recently, I went for the medical test by the Taiwan's this biotechnics lab test for my blood, for my this cholesterol, for my colon, for my gut. The gut, because they use the stools to test my gut. They say how you got, maybe you got a lot of the cancer inside for taking all this, because all the soya sauce inside. Worst thing is I take deep fried. Every day deep fried. And sure will have the cancer. Finally, the report came out. My gut condition is not 75 years old. It's not 85 years old.
21 years old.
No, 40 years old. They got surprised, they got shocked. So how come? They make the mistake. So this is my own experience anyway. Do not follow. Thank you.
Unless you are a qigong master. So qigong masters, they break the law of nature.
And my cancer test, previously, just not long ago, my CX bladder test, test my bladder. It's only 0.02% only.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much, Master Chow and also Bhante, for addressing this question. But please follow with caution now, or better practice qigong lah. Otherwise, this is like we see a success story. But
Crazy story.
different people respond differently. So, got to try it out yourself also lah, whether it works or not for you or not. It's actually time's up already. But anyone has any burning question? Just one only from the live audience now. Okay, we have one sister over there. Yeah.
Bhante, just now we were talking about these asseveration of truth. Would you like to explain in more details? I would like to know how it is used to be able to for healing. Asseverations of truth.
Asseveration of truth.
Yeah, how to use it for healing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, explain.
Asseveration of truth, like I said just now, you make a statement. You make a statement of some good that you had done. some altruistic good deed that you had done, or maybe meditation, or whatever. Then at the end of which, you could say, by the power of this speech of truth, may this happen. May this person be well. But usually, I don't do that. I will say that by this speech of truth, may this person have conducive conditions for his or her highest good.
Conducive,
Conducive conditions for his or her highest good. Because, let's say, for somebody is suffering, coma. You don't know whether it's better for him or her to go or to stay. Who knows? You only wish him or her, if it's your loved one, to stay. Right? But then, would it be better actually for him or her to go, rather than to stay there as a vegetable and keep on suffering?
Yes, yes.
But we never know. We don't know. So we let karma take its own course. Right? So when you make that asseveration of truth, you say, by this speech of truth, may this person have conducive conditions for his or her higher good, whatever it may be. And let things flow.
I see. So that means the whatever truth lah. That means whatever kind deeds or good deeds that we do lah. But
Yes.
it's best is meditation lah. After the meditation,
Right, yeah.
is it?
Not necessarily meditation, it could be anything that is truthful and which is altruistic,
Just like as just now Bante said, one is like the lady said, I'm your daughter, I'm your daughter, and you are the mother to my daughter, is it?
Yes, my mother. I'm my mother's daughter. That's also a speech of truth, right?
Right. So it's like which it works also lah, right? It's not like
That individual case, I don't know whether it works for everybody or not.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bante. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the question. Sorry, Bante, you said by the power of truth.
By the power of this truth.
This truth. And
Because
then,
you said something, right? I've done something good.
so you have to say what good you have done.
Yes, what good you have done.
Oh, then only you transfer
Yes.
the. Oh, okay, thank you. That's all for today. I would like to thank each and every speaker that we have today. Thank you, Bante Aggacitta. Thank you, Master Chow. Thank you, Brother Frank. Can everyone please rise as Bante exit the hall?
And before I exit, I want to thank Master Chow. He was my first qigong master more than 20 years ago. Right? Yeah. More than 20 years ago. Yeah. At one time, he actually commissioned me to write a paper on the history of qigong, of Yan Shen Gong. But he did halfway and he stopped. And I still got a document with me halfway through. But anyway, what he taught me helped me and my yogis a lot. And I will talk about this tomorrow. Okay.
Thousand apologies. Thousands of apologies to Bante and to all of you. Thank you very much.
Before we leave today, we'd like to invite Brother Frank, who is our program initiator, to do a quick closing.
One of the things that caused me to be passionate about health after modern treatment did not prevent my relapses was to seek for modern day problem through ancient solutions. When it comes to food like just now, actually, there's a lot of good ancient dead teachings. Chinese taught qi fen pao. When you eat 70% full, morning eat like a king, afternoon eat like a prince, and night eat like a beggar. Now, these are all wonderful their teaching. But nothing happens unless you are able to practice it. If I were to be crude, like for example, when we eat a good meal, very nice, delicious food, what do you feel? After a big hearty meal, you feel lazy, you feel lethargic, you feel tired, correct? But once you go to the toilet the next few morning and let go everything, you will think of it the whole day. You actually feel much better when you are empty rather than when you are full. And human, we were never designed to eat 3 meals a day. Our forefathers, when they are hunting and gathering, they are lucky if they can eat 3 times a week. That's why, remember the story about the Thai students who got caught in the cave for 6 weeks without food? They survived. Human actually, we could survive without eating for 6 weeks or more, but water about 6 days. Everything in moderation. Now, this also reminds me the path of what the Buddha says. The Buddha says that in summary, he only teach 2 things: the causes of suffering and ways to overcome it. When it comes to mental and physical illness, we have to identify the causes. And then we have to learn to overcome it ourselves. That is basically, I think, in summary, you will see, at the end of the day, we have to put in the effort. Instead of going to a doctor and getting the doctor to heal us, try the other method. Try to learn to heal yourself by putting in the method. This is what we want to share during this event talk. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Frank, for the closing remark.